Okay, I think I got the volume stuff squared away for everybody. Okay, so if you are on tonight and you are able to, please turn your video on. I wanted to request that of everybody. That will help what we're going to be doing. It'll help from here on out as well. And the reason I do that, some people are like, man, what the heck? I don't want this to be internet TV. I want to let everybody know what my purpose of Power Hour is. I want to restate that. We've been doing this for a while. I think we're probably getting close to 2 years on this. And the purpose of Power Hour is when we made some shifts in how we did the business, and as the team continued to expand on a global level, being in the same physical location is not conducive to the way the world works these days. It's just not. You've got corporations around the world they don't do as much traveling. They do this. Is this as good as being directly in front of somebody? It's not. There is a little bit of a barrier on this, but it is the coolest thing next to holograms that I think will probably be coming, and the whole virtual reality you'll actually see each other in the same virtual room, and I bet we'll see that in the next couple of years. But next to that, this is the best that we've got right now, especially for that price. And so we've got ourselves a really good medium here to be able to do this. But it will sometimes, on Power Hour, it'll devolve into just watching a video is really how your brain's going to interact with it. When you watch TV, the TV doesn't communicate in a two-way fashion with you. It's broadcasting, you're receiving. You're not broadcasting much unless you're watching sports and you think if you yell at the TV, it's going to cause your team to actually play a little bit better and get their head out of the rear and catch a ball or whatever. But beyond that, it's usually not going to be the two-way thing. And so I want to crack that. I want to change that because I want this to be more interactive. I want this to be a little bit different. The system that we have for what we do in Power Hour, what we do in the Jade Factory is very well documented in video format in a lot of different areas. If anybody ever has any doubt or any question on how our system works, call me directly. There's a lot of things going on in the background right now from an automation perspective and some very cool things that we're doing, and y'all are going to be blown away. I gave a couple people have gotten little sneak peeks. I did it today, and the person that viewed it was just like, I've seen a lot of stuff like that, and hot diggity, that's pretty awesome. Now, that's not a direct quote. I might have changed that up a little bit, but that was the gist of the conversation. So we got some really amazing stuff there. We will also have an actual curriculum that lays out each of the items. It'll be click and interactive and videos and all of that. That's coming as well. But once we have that, Power Hour has become a way for me and for Mr. Jones and whoever steps in for us as guest speakers from time to time. It's become a way for us to be able to continue to share that information. But we're beyond that at this point. The system that we have is so stinking simple. It's literally 5 steps that you do. And honestly, if you do those, you gotta see that the first 2 are just about the most easiest, silliest things in the world. And I wouldn't even call those steps. That's like if you're getting ready to go up to swing a bat, step 1 is breathe. I mean, come on, right? It's not that hard to wave and say hi. So beyond that, we really got these 3, but I like to keep it at 5. 5's a nice round number. So it's 5 steps that we do. The way that we do that, very simple. What I've realized in working with a few of my inner circle and talking this over and looking at this and digging into this, because we're always constantly wanting to make this be something that is more useful for you. I want results for you. I am not interested in sitting in front of this computer and saying the same thing over and again if it's not getting you results. And I know what we've done up to this point has gotten you results. And what I want to do is I want to up the ante. I want to move this thing up a level. And so one of the things we talk about in our specific system and how we go about doing things is we talk about when you join and you come onto the Jade Factory organization, you get yourself a nice shiny new dump truck. All right. And with this dump truck, the purpose of this is for you to drive this sucker around and you pick up raw material, you put it in the dump truck, and you bring it to the factory. And when you bring it to the factory, the system goes to work. You put it on the conveyor belt, and then off it goes and does its thing. Your job is to get the material, get it into the dump truck, sort it out, and get it onto the conveyor belt. So to do that, you guys are out actually driving the truck. When you're driving the truck, just like when you first learned to drive any vehicle, so go back in your mind to when you were, 14, 15, 16, 5, 23. I don't know how old you were when you figured it out. But when you first started doing that, everybody's got that vision. Everybody remembers where they were and what they were doing when they learned to drive. And I can just about guarantee that the vast majority of you did not just get the keys, get in the vehicle, and just go figure it out. There was somebody sitting in the shotgun seat. They were sitting in the passenger seat. And they were giving you some feedback. They were giving you some instructions. You were coming up with a plan. You were executing the plan. You were reviewing the execution. Hey, see that stop sign? That means you're actually supposed to stop. Oh, got it. So there was a review. There was an adjustment. The adjustment came up with a new plan. Next time, when you see the stop sign, stop before it. Okay. Those white lines, you're supposed to stay inside of them, not straddle them. So these are the things that you learned and figured out with a lot of stuff going on. The reason you did it was because you had the desire. So what I want to start doing, what I will be doing with Power Hour for mine moving forward is that it's not going to be explanation only. There will be explanation, there will be instructional, there will be some of that, because when you get in a new vehicle, it's, hey, today we're going to learn how to parallel park. Here's what you need to review. We'll go over that, and then we're going to get into it. And we're going to get into it where I want to be in the vehicle with you all. I want to dig in with you because I can tell you all day long how to drive. You were told all day long in a classroom, watching videos and people drawing stuff on the board on how to drive. And all of that, man, I got it. This is easy, no big deal. It's 5 steps. Who could really screw that up? Mindy wrecked her driver's ed car. It happens. It happens. Some of y'all have beat the hell out of your dump truck. It's cool. We can fix fenders, man. We can put a new engine in it. It's fine. Don't worry. That's awesome. So instead of just hearing all the things and you think, hey, I got this, and then you get in the car by yourself without anybody being in the passenger seat and y'all are going out into the field doing this thing, some of you are freaking the heck out. Some of you are just putting your head down and going through stop signs and running over little squirrels and just denting the fenders, and I love it. Some of you still won't put the damn key in the ignition. Okay? That's cool. You got to know where you're at if you're going to make this dump truck go. The fact that you're here, the fact that you're watching this, maybe you're watching the replay, that means you've got a desire. Or somebody coerced you to get here. Either way, I'm good with it. But what I have found when I've been doing these courses with everybody and when I have these sessions is I'm identifying that you think you know what you're doing, but you're not getting the results. You're not getting on the freeway. You're not going 55 miles an hour in the fast lane. Something's out of whack. And I also know that none of you, rare few of you, are going to actually call me up and say, hey, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm not getting any results. Can you help me? Human beings are incapable of doing that. So what we're going to do on Power Hour is that I'm going to teleport into your dump truck with you in these sessions, and we're going to dig in. We're going to find out what's going on. Now, I imagine, I hope not, but I am completely prepared for some of you to not come back to Power Hour because this is going to freak you out. It is a risk that I am willing to take. Because I am not interested in your comfort level. I am interested in you hitting your desires. And deep down, I know you are too. So if you don't like me when we get done with these, I'll get over it. Don't worry. So the way we're going to do this is that I'm going to pick somebody and I'm going to dig in. Some of you are going to have a little pit in your stomach. Some of you are going to disappear from the screen. Some of you are going to just, oh, internet went out. I'm all good with it. Okay? So when I call on you, you're going to have a flood of emotions. The first one's going to be, oh shit, he called on me. Okay? I'm good with that too. And then after that, you're going to get the cadence of this and you're going to be okay with it. When we do this, I want you to focus on my box. I don't want you to focus on everybody else's box. I want you to be one-on-one with me. And I want you to be absolutely in this thing to win it. I want you to be in it to be able to transform. I don't want you trying to look cool. I don't want you to trying to have the right answers. Because if you had the right answers, you'd be double black diamond. You'd at least be sapphire ruby. And that's okay. I will get you there if you desire to go. You've got everything you need in this business. You just need to have a little know-how. You need a couple driving lessons, and that's what this is going to be for. Everybody good? Give me a thumbs up if you're okay with this. Yeah, sweet. Very good. All right. Then let's get started. And you know what? We're going to start with Dawn Cochran in Arizona. Good thing she was muted because she said, oh shit. I heard it. I heard it all the way. You were what? Oh, you were laughing. Okay. I misread your lips. My bad.
No, what's going on? And I'm trying to get all my stuff together.
And here's the other thing: you don't need any numbers. You don't need any stuff. It's going to be a conversation we're going to have. Okay, so you'll be completely good. All right. So, Don, how are things going with you reaching out and having conversations with people?
They're going good. I get stuck at 3, but we've had that conversation already.
That's okay. We're going to have it again. We're going to have it again for everybody, and this is going to get everybody warmed up. And I'm being gentle with everyone here on the first one. Okay, so I'm picking Dawn because Dawn just took my one conversation away challenge course, and she has actually had 2 sit downs with me. Would you say we had some good breakthroughs in our last chat?
Absolutely. He made me cry, but it was a good cry.
It happens, and that's okay. And I promise if you cry, I'm going to cry, so we'll be even on this thing. I'm good with it. I've gotten over that finally in my life too. So, all right. So one of the things that Dawn and I were digging in on is on step number 3. So Dawn, tell me what is happening with you at step 3, and do it from a perspective of, we talked on Monday, I guess. Don't tell me from Monday. Tell me from since we last talked moving forward. Let's just kick in right here and tell me how things are going since we last talked. What's going on with your numbers? What's going on with what you've got going on in this business?
Okay. I'm getting over the 3. I'm starting to push myself to the 4. I'm recognizing it a little bit, and I'm letting myself say, yes, I can do this.
Very cool.
That's the big step that's the breakthrough that we had. So, I mean, I'm full disclosure, so it's no big deal.
Love it.
But it might someone else. It might help someone else too.
That's why we're doing this too. Just so y'all know, when it's you and me talking, what's getting ready to happen is there's 22 other people that are watching this live, and there's going to be countless people watching this replay, and they're going to hear in this little interview segment that we're going to do, they're going to hear the thing that they needed to hear, because if you're experiencing it, guess what? Somebody else is experiencing it too, and you're going to give them that aha breakthrough. And that's what this thing's all about. It ain't about you. It's about you, but it's not just about you.
Yeah.
So that's way cool. I appreciate you being open for that. So just to frame this up, just a reminder, 3s, when you start your 3, when you put a 3 next to somebody's name, that means that you are asking them how they're doing. How's your family? How's your occupation? How's your recreation? How's your motivation? How are you? What's been going on? You keep having that conversation until the conversation ends, or They tell you their thing. And so what Dawn's saying is she's getting to the thing. She circles the 3. That means that she found out what their thing was. And then it's time to get into step 4. And step 4 is when you hear somebody lay some heavy stuff down, you go, man, I'm sorry to hear that you're dealing with that. How long have you been dealing with that? What have you been doing to fix that? Would you like any help with that? That's what step 4 is. So Dawn, when you're having the step 3, what was some of the stuff that was holding you back from going to step 4?
Well, being scared, getting in my own damn head. Just it's being worthy of, like we discussed, it was coming down to me deserving, and I keep doing the this thing, my numbers, and some days I don't make it, some days I do, but I'm getting over that, and it's just taking me a little bit, and that's okay. It's
Give me
I
an
have to
example.
learn, I will have to say, I have to learn how to reach out, and I'm really bad at that. I'm I don't have the confidence to, not to reach out to the person. It's to reach out to like you or the Mendozas or someone like that. That's where I get like, oh, I don't want to bother them, and I know you guys want us to bother you. I know that in my head, intellectually.
Yep.
But it's the action of going to do that. And I will tell you, it is scary. And at times when I have done it, it has failed. And that's that little friggin' terrorist thing that goes in my head, like, it's going to fail again. I don't want to do that. Then I'm letting you down. And all those stupid thoughts that go in your mind.
Thank you for saying what you just did. Let's unpack some of that, because you had something key in there that I heard. There's probably a lot in there, a lot of people heard, but one of the things that I heard you say is you got it. I could hear it in your voice, the inflection of it changed when you started talking about, I don't want to bug you. I know it's not going to bug you. It's not going to bug Kinley or Andres, but I've done one of these before and it failed. And what that is, what's that?
I've done several. And
Several.
Failed.
And it didn't work. What happens with that is it's an emotional thing, because there's already emotion involved with being able to reach out to one of the leaders to be able to do this. And then when it didn't come to the result that we were expecting, there was a sense of failure. The reason for that is, for the most part, we have been conditioned that failing and getting the wrong answer is bad. We've been taught that in school for a very long time. Oh, you didn't get the right answer. Big red X mark on your page. You're not worthy of this check mark right now. And everybody just goes, oh, you only got a B, you only got a C, oh, you got a D, you failed that. I'm disappointed in you, little Johnny. That's been happening for a very long time. So it's emotional when we don't get the outcome that we want. It's very difficult for people to go through and fail and fail and fail and fail and keep doing it because of their prior programming. This is an example of what I label the terrorist. It is your past programming that has been laid down, and whenever you have an experience and it's filled with a lot of emotion, it's going to cause certain circuitry to be written into your DNA, into your gray matter. And now you're going to have a thought, and the next time that this situation arises, your brain's very efficient. It's going to run that program again. Oh, shoot. I'm a little nervous. I don't really want to reach out to him because 4 times in a row this thing has failed. And I know they're saying to do it intellectually. I get it, but not gonna do it. And then we
Then you
fail to
back
take
off.
action. Huh?
Yep. And then you back off and then you try to do it on your own. And that's not being successful either.
Nope.
So it's catch 22. And it's
Correct. It does. So now I'm not going to leave you in the muck. I'm going to explain to you all, and you're going to hear this over and again. Right now, when that situation is occurring for Dawn, her dump truck is stuck in the muck. She is stuck. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going to the factory. It ain't going out to get new people. It's sitting there on the side of the road, not going anywhere. And you can push on the gas all day long, and all you're going to do is spin the wheels and bury yourself deeper. Because while that thought is winning, you're stuck. Now, let me explain to you how that thought works. That thought had a motion and it had an event. Those things got added together, and it was more than just stubbing your toe. Now it became a thing. And it's a way that you're going to, and it is a past experience that you keep reliving because you just said it. In the past, this hasn't worked. You know, intellectually, theoretically, for other people, this has worked, but not for me. For me, I'm living in my past. I'm living into my experiences I've had. Is anybody catching on to this right now? Give me a thumbs up if you are. Okay, a couple of you, good. So here's how you get by that. The way you unstick your dump truck is you first recognize that this is happening. You are stuck. This is a thing. Whenever you relive that by thought, you don't even have to go out and fail again. You can simply think of how you failed in the past, and you will groove this into your brain even further. I'll ask y'all all a question. Does everybody remember where they were on September 11th, 2001? Pretty freaking clear where you were. Do y'all remember where you were on August 11th, 2001? Not to the level of detail that you remember where you were on September 11th. Why? Events happen. They happen every day. Those were some big events that had a hell of a lot of emotion attached to it, and guess what? It is burned into your psyche. Do you remember where you were when JFK got shot?
I wasn't even born.
I don't. I wasn't around yet.
Neither was I.
But some people, the ones that were, man, I don't care if you were 3, you remember which was going down, because everybody lost their damn mind that day. And it was an emotional day, and that got hardwired. It is not software anymore. It's hardware. There are circuits laid down in your gray matter that is, you are just firing that sucker again. Anytime you have something traumatic, you keep reliving it. And when you do that, you're doing it in the past. The past did that. And now you're bringing it to the future, and you're writing it down again, and you're talking about it, and you're doing it, and you're getting the feedback, and why do we do that? Because we're addicted to the drugs in our system that are released when we talk about it some more. Well, this thing happened, and now I need to tell her. You look like you're having a bad day. Well, let me tell you why. And now you're pissed off for another 20 minutes. And just as soon as you get rid of that, somebody comes up and says, you're frowning. Let me tell you why. And now you're pissed off for another 20 minutes. And next thing you know, this thing goes on for 4 or 5 days. I've had some of you have an event happen while doing this that kicked you out of the game for 5 days because somebody was a dumbass and sent a stupid picture, and that ruined. I mean, you were done. It happened. Holy crap, it's pixels on it. You've seen all those things anyway. Who cares? But it was a thing. It triggered something. And then you play that feedback loop. So this happens to all of us on a daily basis. It's happening to you, Don, right now when you're thinking about this thing. Everybody's got their thing that they're living with all the time. If you choose to. And this is the big aha I hope you get tonight. When you realize you're stuck, the next thing there's 2-step process. I'm stuck. That's step 1. Step 2 is I need to choose to do something different. The best thing that you can focus on to get yourself unstuck, to stop that feedback loop that's going on, is a slap across the face. And the best one to do that is create something, is to look into the future of what you desire to possess, what you desire to be, how you desire to act. Make that choice. The best one that you can do is your why. Why are you doing this business? What is that reason? Dawn, what's your why?
My why?
Why are you doing the business?
Because it makes me feel good. And I love helping people, and helping people makes me feel good.
Boom.
And I know my why isn't as strong as maybe other whys, but this is what's important to me. And yes,
Just so you know, all whys boil down to 6 different whys. They all boil down to 6.
Yeah.
I want to be secure. I want variety. I want to be unique. I want love. I want growth. I want contribution. Love and contribution is what flips her switch. That's the drugs that she wants to experience. When she is feeling that, it's a beautiful feeling. You all have the feeling that you're after. That feeling is how you're going to be. When you feel that, when you are that way, you go act a certain way. And that will get you out of the muck. Or you'll make another, you have a fork in the road. By the way, on your path each day, on this little globe that we're spinning around really, really fast on, you have about 70,000 boss fights. In a video game, there's the boss fight, right? You come in and you're at the top of the level, and then you're getting ready to have it, and you duke it out, and then you win or you lose, and then you go on to the next level, and then you duke it out. In the video game that we play every single day, you've got 70,000 of those opportunities. Those are your thoughts. You have 50 to 70,000 thoughts that happen each day. Each one of them, you have a choice on what you're going to do with that thought. Are you going to run through your past and run an old program, the one that failed 5 times before? Or do you choose to create a new path and build some new circuitry in your brain and go after your desire? You literally have 70,000 of those choices a day. Well, Casey, you don't understand. I've got this going on and I've got that going on, and all of that nonsense is going to jump in somebody's head. But if you'll actually work on this and you'll boil it down, you will see that it comes down to you've got a choice on what you're going to do. When you're stuck, when you're having that reaction that's occurring, and it is a reaction, it is your body reacting, it's triggering a past thought that you had that burned in because there was emotion involved with it, and it stuck there. And now you're running that same old, tired, you know exactly how the program's going to end. You know exactly what you're going to say. You've been saying the same damn thing for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. You act like there's some magical thing that's going to happen to change that. And the only thing that's going to change that is if you choose to go down a different path. So as soon as you are in that fork in the road, it's like, oh, I'm getting ready to have my moment. If you're aware, you have to be aware of it. If you're not, it wins and you didn't even know it. You didn't even know it. Your terrorist had your hair pulled back, knife to your throat, jacking with you and leading you down the same little path, and you're just going along like a little victim.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I do have a question though.
Yes, ma'am. What do you got?
Okay. I went back to work, but then I had to stop because of what we talked about, my injury. But one of my PLC, PLC is when you put a group of people together and you work, it's like a team. So I teach algebra. He has fibromyalgia. Mm-hmm. And my ears perked up. And I was like, okay. And I was with a whole bunch of people and I didn't say anything because one, I didn't feel it was the right time to say something. So I would like to approach her. I just don't know how to do it. if that makes any sense, because
Not a whole lot, but it makes a little bit. I'm messing with you. It makes perfect sense. But what doesn't make sense to me is you asked a question on, I don't know how to approach her.
I know, it's so stupid. I
Yes.
know. And we were all in a conversation. She was explaining what was going on. And I should have, because I'm so annoyed now looking back at it, because my co-teacher, which I call my co-husband, because we've been together for 5 years, because we co-teach, he's on Sunrise. And he was sitting right there. I'm such a jerk. Okay, forget it. That was a dumb question. I know now. Forget it.
Do you see how powerful? I really hope everybody's catching on to this, on how powerful this format is.
That's so perfect. Because he says all the time, if it sells himself, like anytime I bring up at school, he says, you need to do this. Dawn has talked to me about, I've been taking it for a year. You know, he's always been my co-man, like my co-wing at work. And we were sitting, okay.
All right. So now pause, and we're going to rewind the tape for about 10 seconds, and you're going to say, I was sitting there and I didn't really think it was the time. That's how you started that. I didn't really think it was the time to talk to them. Now, let's define who I is. Who was talking just then? I don't think it's the time to do that right now. That's a past program that's kicking in saying, there's people here. I might look like a weirdo. And I remember that time in 9th grade trying to find a seat at the cafeteria, and I look like a weirdo, and I said something, and I'll never do that again. Or whatever the hell it is from your past that made you feel that way of now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't. It's okay. Now here's the deal. Now this is the beautiful part. You have a choice. You want to reprint that circuit so that it's really hot and burning and it's going to happen again? Or do you want to make a choice and prune that thing away, and we're going to go a different direction now?
I'll go a different direction. And I will see her on the 29th, because we're off this week and next week, so I won't see her. And I'll make sure I'll have Paul with me, because he's my testimonial. And I'm just going to, I think what I'm going to do is, hey, you know what? You're bringing up, you know, the fibromyalgia and all that, and how you lost weight, and you were talking about sleep and your diet, because she was talking about eating. I go, you know, I have something that might help you. I'm not sure. I said, you know, I'll just say it might help. I would like you to try. What could happen? She says no. I said, worst thing could happen. I tell my kids that all the time too. What's the worst thing happen? No.
It's very easy to see this. Everybody else is looking at this going, what the hell, Don? Duh. You know?
I know.
But when you're experiencing it, it's like, oh my God. And I promise you, every single person here, when they get into the little hot seat here and we start chatting, they're going to, but mine's different, Casey. You don't understand. Everybody, it's clinical when you look at everybody else. You look at your kids. I tell my kids this all the time. What the hell's wrong with you, you dumbass? What's the worst thing's going to happen? Just go do it. Fear. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. Because I was afraid of this thing. There was monsters underneath my bed, and there might be a monster that's going to get me when I do this, and it shut down, not happening, not taking action. So that's huge. Now, something else I'll throw out there, and this is how subtle and really a true testament to the amazingness of our brains and how they work. It's so subtle that your terrorist got a hold of you before you even finished that sentence, because you decided that your friend isn't worth it for you to reach out between now and the 29th. You're going to let her suffer for 11 more days with fibromyalgia.
Have her number.
There's no way to possibly get in touch with her. Got to wait 11 days.
No, I like you something.
I know. I told y'all up front I'll be okay with it.
In a good way, though. All right, I'll get in touch with Paul.
Well, oh, and while we're at it, let's talk about Paul. Why the hell do you need Paul?
My blanket.
There it is. It's like one of those nice, heavy anxiety blankets. You're like Lioness walking around with that dirty old ass blanket.
I love the peanuts.
You're awesome for playing with me right now, Dawn. This is
know.
this is setting the stage for how this is supposed to go. So Dawn,
Well, no one else can say anything because y'all need to open up, because if you don't, then he can't help you, and you can't help someone if they don't be honest.
that's it. That's absolutely it. The thing is, what's really neat about this format, and for people that have done certain courses, you're obviously catching where this is coming from. But when you do this format, people open up. They just got to feel safe, and everybody knows this is a safe spot. So, but being the one that's going to walk up to the microphone, that's not necessarily the easiest thing. So perfect. So Don, you're not going to reach out to your work husband, and you're not going to wait for 11 days.
I will. Smaza.
Awesome. Very cool. Anything else for me before I move on?
No, that was my big thing. But I'm so annoyed now because I could have just, because we were all.
Now here's the next thing. Another program that everybody likes playing is the one where you beat the shit out of yourself all the time. And then you say you're not worthy. And then you keep filling that back in. Oh, see, I screwed it up again. And then we just keep that rolling again too. And it's another one that plays. There's a lot, like I said, there's 70,000 opportunities a day to be able to play this game. If you get, go ahead.
As a learning. So instead of saying that I messed it up,
this was not a failure.
Come upon this
you just learn. How did you learn to walk? Do you remember?
No, I
don't know. You just one day is like, yeah, I'm walking. But if you ever watch a baby and you watch your kid when he was growing up, you didn't look at him and go, what the hell? Why can you not? How many times do we have to teach your little butt how to walk? Get it right. Come on. No. We don't say, we just go do it again. Now, it pissed him off. He wanted to walk right away, fell on his butt. But then he got back up and tried it again. And did it again, and did it again. Why? Had a pretty big desire. So absolutely, don't beat yourself up about it. Look at it and say, I learned something today. And when you are aware of that, it makes the next time you run into the same circumstance, so, I conquered this one. You ain't getting by me on this one, Bubba. I got this one. And that you having that chat with your therapist. I ain't running that program. I choose to do it this way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Exactly.
Good. Awesome. Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. Let's jump to the next person. Anybody want to volunteer? Miss Kathy Harris put her hand up. I saw it. Remember that part? Oh, shit.
Hi, Casey.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Great.
Oh, I shouldn't be having this much fun, but I won't lie. I'm kind of enjoying this a little bit. I'm a bit of a sadist. So how are things?
Yeah.
How's the elbow there? Healing up pretty fast.
Band-Aid.
Oh, okay. Can't see it start. Got it. Still got the Band-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the hands actually are healing up very fast. And then the elbows, and then nice big huge bruise on my thigh.
Ouch. So we were doing
I guess that's where I bounced.
We were doing the 5K for the Jade Miles for July. We did that last weekend, and Kathy was making some record time, and she decided to go ahead and slide right into home plate at the end of it and took a bit of a spill. But she was a rock star. She was a rock star. And she won the prize. She won the prize for the for the pool party prize. So that was good. All right. So tell me how things are going on the business side. How are your reach outs going?
Reach outs are going well. I've got a lot of conversations going. I've got conversations that are going nowhere, and then I have conversations that have led to customers.
Got one today, didn't you?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yesterday. Very cool.
Yeah. And that was one that it was kind of a follow-up from a previous conversation. And then I just noticed something that she had posted on Facebook, and I followed up with her on that. And
pause right there real quick. Did everybody catch what she just said? So here's where the instructional part's going to get weaved into Power Hour. And I'm going to say this real quick is when y'all are doing your reach outs, when I've taught this and you attended the classes for this and things that we've talked about, I mentioned to go on to Messenger. You make it over to the people. You see who's active. You wave. You say hi. Okay. That is the minimum. That's to get you into motion. It's to get you into action. It is not the only way to do it. Once you get comfortable with that, get all crazy, start riding the bicycle without any hands and popping wheelies. When you're ready to do that, go into Facebook, read how people tell their whole freaking life story on a post. And when they do, they've told you their thing. You've already gone step 1, step 2, and step 3, and you can circle it for them because they already told the world and you're a part of that world. So you reach out to them, direct message, and you go, hey, wanted to reach out to you and say, hi, I read your post. Oh my God, I'm so sorry you're dealing with that thing. And you can just fast forward through 3 of the steps and get straight to the 4th one. I'm so sorry you're dealing with that thing. How long's that been going on? What are you doing for it? So Kathy, pick up from there and keep on rolling.
Yeah, it's funny because the original conversation was not going in that direction at all. We were just catching up and talking about relatives and whatever. And then
so you built the rapport, and then later they posted something, and then you circled back around. You had made the emotional deposits. You had a conversation, and then they gave the thing after that, and then you followed up with them.
Yeah. And so I followed up with her and I said, I didn't know that I said, hey, Amanda, did I know that you had migraines? Because, I didn't recall that before. And so I said, I believe this is the first I've heard. How long have you been dealing with that? Who does that sound like? Casey.
What would Casey say?
Huh?
What would Casey say? We got to get those responses.
Absolutely. So I said, how long have you been dealing with that? And she said, as long as I can remember. They come and go in waves, blah, blah, blah. So she tells me all that. And I said, that sucks. They hurt so bad. They make you physically sick to your stomach and makes you wish somebody would just chop your head off, right? So
you see what she's doing is she's saying, basically, I know how you feel. I'm sharing with you this experience. Like, son of a gun, you do know how I feel. You're not just saying that. You told me before I told you.
Mm-hmm. And I continued with that. I said, I'm sorry you're dealing with that. I'm sure you've tried everything, ... And she said, I have. A friend of mine recommended CBD oil. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm doing some research. We've had to cancel our vacation this summer because of the migraines, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I come back with, that sucks, but I'm sure they understand, talking about our kids. I said, besides, they wouldn't have any fun if you weren't feeling well. And then I said, I don't know much about CBD oil, but I do know something about nutritionals. I don't know if it would work for you, but it's worth a try. Would it be okay with you if I add you to a Facebook wellness group so that you can read some of the testimonials? You can leave the group at any time. And she responded with, yes, exclamation point. I was looking at diets for migraines yesterday on Pinterest, but there wasn't a clear list of foods. They all seem to contradict each other.
Let me
That's
let
a
me let me
terrific
pause. Let me pause right here real quick because I want to make a distinction. When you ask permission, Kathy, when you and just so y'all everybody know, this ended in somebody being a customer. So all good to go, right? This worked. I want to give some commentary on an observation because what'll happen sometimes is we'll get in a rut where we just keep doing the same steps. And I want to call this out. It's not a big one. This is like one of those where she's driving the dump truck. She's driving it damn good too, by the way. And when she's just got her foot riding on the clutch a little bit, and it's going to burn the clutch up over time. It still got us there, no big deal, but she's stepping on the clutch a little bit when she doesn't need to. And what that is where you're disengaging it a little bit is when you found out, have you tried anything? Would you like some more? Would you like me to add you to this group? That's a lot of extra steps. Just ask her, would she like some help with that? If you ask if she wants some help with that, she goes, yeah, what do you got? I've got a product that you might be quite interested in that could take care of all those issues. That would be great. Can you send some over right away? That's me creating another possibility. That's me coming in here and saying, you can absolutely cause those steps to occur. Doesn't mean that she wants to go down that path because then she has a chance to be able to say where she wants to go. But by going to the quickest route to the fix and not what's comfortable of just sending them to the wellness from the inside and out. It's a powerful tool. Don't get me wrong. This still worked great. I'm just saying you can cut through some of those steps and just go straight to it. Don't be afraid to just go for it and say, hey, you want to go ahead and let me order you some of this right now? Yes, I would. I just need your credit card.
Yeah, I like that very much. But one of the things too is from my background, and I think Don was kind of actually touching on that a little bit, is people, when I'm talking to people, a lot of them are, what is she selling now? So I try to take it off of me, and so putting it on the wellness page takes it off of me a little bit. So I use that as a cushion.
You use that as a
as a cushion, a buffer. It's like that in between to keep it off of me.
It's that warm blanket. Now again, I'm not saying that these ways are right. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm making observations, and then you guys can choose what you want to do with them. I just want to call out as I see it, no holds barred, and I will be completely open and honest and transparent with you. That's my promise. I want to call that out because that's really what this is all about on having these chats. It's these little nuances that you're bringing with you to the conversation that have a chance over the long term to keep you from being as great as you can be. You bring a little bit of that to the table because that's from your past, and you've got that because you've done some of these things before and all of this, and we're worried about what that person's going to think of the fact that we've done this before, and that little program starts in, and you've made peace with that to be able to divert it over, and that's a good diversion, but I want you to hit it head on and go, so what?
Okay.
Plain simple. So what? This is the goods, man. And if I find a new thing in the future that I think is going to help you with what you're dealing with, I'm going to do that too. If I get in an affiliate program for being able to help plumbers on sending plumbers over to you and you got a plumbing problem, I'm going to tell you about the plumber stuff right away. I ain't going to hold back.
Gotcha.
If you one time tell me that you like Mexican food and I get a little special thing when I show up to Lupe Tortillas and I do 6 of these and I get a free margarita, buddy, I'm going to tell you about them too. I don't give a damn if I get paid afterwards. This is for you to help you. Cool. Keep going with that. How did it go after you sent them to the Wellness Simplified? How long did it take? Let me ask you, how long did it take? How long did it take from when they said yes, please, or yes, exclamation mark, to the point where they actually ended up buying? How long was that process?
How do I find the timing? It was,
Was it
okay,
hours, days, week?
oh, it was hours. It was actually hours because, okay, so she said yes. And so I said, terrific. Yes, nutrition makes a huge difference in how we feel, but it's usually difficult to eat what you need to. LOL. I'll get you added ASAP. And she said, thank you. And I said, hey, Amanda, I got you added and I tagged you on an overview video and one of many testimonials. Take a look around for yourself, blah, blah, blah. And told her how, and let me know if you have any questions. And by then, and this was at work, I'm trying to get these messages in. By then, she said, I was just reading the testimonials about migraines. This sounds amazing. And so at 5:06 yesterday, when I was in my car about to leave the office, I said, so that was maybe an hour before that, right?
Yeah.
I said, this is the link.
Everybody, listen on that. I know she's getting ready to say on this. Listen intently to this because this is a very powerful thing that y'all need to add into your bag of tricks.
Okay, at 5:06, I said, this is a link for what I order. Click on it, wait for the page to load, then add to your shopping cart, 30-day money-back guarantee, get the best price for signing up, for Prime, for free shipping, and also auto ship for additional discount. You can stop auto ship at any time. I really love these products. They've gotten me off all of my prescriptions, kept me out of the doctor's office, no longer see a chiropractor, and best of all, my pain is gone. Here's the link if you'd like to give it a try.
And on that right there, I want to add on to that. That's not just saying, hey, go over here and click the thing. That's an offer, just so y'all know. That is stacking an offer. She is telling this, she's adding this, this has done this. They've already decided they're going to do it, and now you're making it. It is an offer that you can't refuse. And that's what she's doing. And she's not being pushy, and I wouldn't say forceful, but she is standing up for her friend. And she's not backing off on this because she does know that this is going to help them, and she's not backing away from that whatsoever. And that was very powerful. All of that combined, all of that going together gets people to be able to take that step because they have confidence that you are bringing it to the table. And I bet you Kathy would be absolutely fine for posting that little bit onto Casey Salge's Power Hour channel.
I'll do it.
Sweet.
And so that was all at 5:06. And she responded right away and said, thanks, I was going to finish checking into it and message you tonight. I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. And so by 6 o'clock, she had ordered. I mean, it was actually probably right then that she ordered, but I figured it out at 6.
That's awesome. If Kathy had not have done that, do you see a world in which her friend was going to do it at 9 o'clock and then somebody threw up and the cat had to go outside and the TV star was on the fridge, and then next thing you know, it's in the morning, and then, oh my God, my day's crazy, it's Friday, and then we got so much stuff going on this weekend, I'll do it on Monday, and the next thing you know, it's gone. She did not wait. She did not hesitate. She pushed. She got it in there, and that was the nudge that the person needed to be able to go. That's freaking awesome.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
I did follow up with her too after I finished with my nail appointment. And I said, I hope and pray that this works for you as well as it has for me and others. I'd love to see your positive testimonial on that wellness page. Remember, continue to drink plenty of water. So,
public service announcement to go with it. That's great. And then continuing that follow-up, all that's doing is making emotional deposits in their bank account. You have no idea how powerful that is and how that will spread And she, the person that Kathy has blessed with this by not being fearful, not hiding, not letting her terrorists keep her out of action, concerned about what anybody's going to think, say, feel, do, or whatever the nonsense they come up with. She pushing through is going to impact somebody's life. And then what y'all are probably not thinking about as much as I wish you would is the butterfly effect of how that goes. That follow-up thing that she did, you know how powerful that is to be able to let those seeds spread out and go off onto the wind and start planting in other gardens. It's insane. So don't just do it for one transaction. You're doing this thing forever, and it keeps on going. The harvest that comes in as a result of that is life-changing. Awesome. Did this feel like it went faster than a normal power hour that I've been doing? Yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh? Good. Everybody like this format? Cool. It didn't really matter what you said there. We're going to do it anyway, but I'm glad to hear that y'all enjoyed it. Very good. I encourage you to have even more people show up at the next one. Thank you, Uncle Larry, for sharing some great ideas on this thing. This has been awesome. I had an announcement in my head, and I'm losing. The announcement I want to say is we're going to have another Jade Miles like we did this month. It was last weekend that we did it. We're going to have another one in August. So look for that on the board. It's not going to be where we go out to we kind of took a poll of the people that came, and everybody said that it was unanimous that everybody would rather have it in the neighborhood. And so we're going to be able to have that for the next one that we're going to do. So look for that. Put that on your calendar. And then definitely stay in your dump truck. Stay working with people. Keep reaching out. Have these conversations. Please keep pushing right now. I've got some really big announcements that are going to be coming out in about 2 weeks. Okay? So not next week, but the one after that. I'm going to have a really big announcement on what we're going to be doing with all of this. There is a very awesome master plan, if I do say so myself, on how all this is going to go in. I gave you a little bit of a hint in Salt Lake in the mansion on the blueprint, and that is recorded. If you want to go back and take a look at that, feel free to roll back and you'll see it in the channel. But we are going to have some pretty neat stuff, and what you're doing and what we talked about tonight and what you're doing with this absolutely dovetails into it. So do not let up. Don't slow down. In fact, I want you to double down. I want you to reach out to more people. I want you to set your hours, set your time. If it's 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, you decide how important your desires are. And I hope that one stings a little. You decide, you choose how important that is. You choose what your day is going to be tomorrow. You choose the amount of time you're going to spend. You choose how many people you're going to reach out to in that time frame. Don't get overwhelmed. Pick your hours, pick how much time you're going to spend, and execute during that time. If it's one conversation that goes for 2.5 hours, do it. If it's 23 conversations that last 1 minute each, do it. But pick the time, make that be a choice that you do, and keep doing this. You'll see how this all fits together here in 2 weeks. So keep doing what you're doing. Thank you all for joining. I'm going to unmute the line so you can say goodnight. I appreciate your participation, and we will see you next time. So have a great night, everybody.
Good night, John Boy.
Everybody. Have a great night, everybody. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Kathy.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you both.
Just leave?
See you, Betty. Good seeing you.
Take care, Betty.
Good night. Thanks, Casey.
Thank you.